as I was saying, we are premiering a brand new music video from Casey Conroy and Coast City entitled Best Shoes. The single's out now, and the video is coming out tomorrow, but we're giving you a sneak peek today of the vibe. And here she is now, the one and only Casey Conroy.
Hi.
Hey! How
Can you
are
see
you?
us okay?
Yeah, I think so. Is the
Danny's
screen...
supposed to be somewhere in this. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know if we can see them, but we can see you for sure.
Oh,
It's
you
so,
are here?
It's so wacky with the,
I'm just like that little.
It looks like a white screen.
it looks kind of white.
Really? Yeah, I see you.
We're learning a lot of new tricks.
I know.
during,
I'm learning too.
quarantine.
This has been like a crash course in technology.
Oh,
There he is.
Yeah,
Yo, what's cracking?
Yo, what's good?
Chilling, man. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Casey. I'm so excited about this.
No, thank you. This is awesome. It's a perfect. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. All right. We are gonna get this. Right.
I mean,
There we go.
we've all had to learn this crazy technology stuff in a very short amount of time. So
I know. We're becoming very technologically savvy. Well, actually, obviously not, because. All right, I think we're good to go.
Okay, sweet. So I was just, before you joined, I was just giving everybody a quick intro of kind of the story behind, you guys came out, worked together, came out with the single, and then obviously now that we're staying at home, you had to get creative for the video. So obviously we're going to premiere it, which I'm super excited about. But before we do, I just want to get a little bit of background from both you guys about sort of how the video came together and what it was like collaborating from so far away. And it's an intimate video, your parents are in it, you have your manager, and you know what I mean? It's like, it's really encompasses kind of your whole lifestyle and gives a real behind the scenes look. So tell me how it was, I guess to begin with, just getting involved in this new platform and kind of filming off the cuff. What was that like?
So I think it was kind of scary at first. Like, we knew we wanted to do a video, but we realized we have to kind of get creative, and we really wanted to do something unique. But I think at the end of the day, it really opened the door for a lot of great opportunity, especially with the song being so intimate and so vulnerable. And it gave us such a great opportunity to show those parts of our lives. And since we really had no other choice but to use our family as the camera crew and the cast and everything, in the song, these are the people that we're talking about, that kind of fill those voids in our life and that make us feel safe. And so it was so great to get them involved, and so it ended up working out in the long term, or in the end.
And then, and what about for you? Oh, can you hear? Oh, can you hear me?
The video was was pretty amazing because, first of all, we've been wanting to work with Casey for a long time, so through this whole entire COVID-19 thing and us having to isolate and all that, it actually kind of brought us together. And we've seen that in the music community, that instead of it pulling us apart, although we are all apart, it's actually bringing a lot of us together. And in this case, it brought Casey and Coast City together to work on this beautiful song that she had already written and we were already a fan of. So when we jump on board, it was just an honor, honestly. So it's been really dope.
That's awesome. Yeah, Casey, I just got familiar with your music, and it's incredible. It's has this kind of Latin Lana Del Rey vibe. I don't know. It's a crazy. It's a crazy vibe.
Crazy. Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I just got this amazing energy from the music, which doesn't happen often. And I also get that from Coast City, as I was talking about earlier. Coast City came and performed at LATV. And seeing them live was a totally different experience, because a lot of times you get let down. You're like, oh no, the record was so much better. This was the opposite. The record was amazing, and then live was like, whoa, crazy. So the collab between you two was obviously unbelievable, and
Oh, thank you.
it's been an honor.
It's, you know what's so funny that you said that about Lana Del Rey, because fun fact, at least 2 times a day I get a message or a comment that's like, you look like Lana Del Rey, you are Lana Del Rey's doppelganger, and I do not see it at all. Like, nobody in my family sees it, but it's like everybody says it. It's the craziest thing.
It's so bad. You know, I was looking through a bunch of your videos on Instagram, and like on half of them you look like her, and on half of them you don't. And I was like, I got my girlfriend, and I was like, hey, what do you think? Does she look like Lana? But
it's crazy.
Either way, I mean, the music. I don't know. I think her music's a little bit more sad, and you're able to weave in this kind of uplifting spirit, even with the slower kind of melodies and tones. So I don't know. I got just like a really positive, good feeling. And tell me about before we premiere the video. Let's go back even farther and tell us just quickly about how Best Shoes came about, how the idea was formed, and what you wanted to get across with the whole project.
Yeah. So it kind, you know, it's crazy. Something that is really cool about how life works is it's amazing seeing like all of this love come together from the song, because it really came from a dark place. It was really this idea that every day I was like waking up and putting my best foot forward. And I just constantly felt like life was just like, not today, not today. I'm like, this is gonna be my day. This is gonna be my day. And I got so fed up with that feeling and desperate, and it led me to write Best Shoes. And it's a lot about kind of wanting to run home and to the safety and innocence of what home represents. And for me, that was always like sitting on my mom's bed and telling her everything that I was feeling. And so Best Shoes is pretty much that conversation with my mom, telling her what I'm feeling and what's going on. So
wow, that's very beautiful. And then how did you connect with Danny and Coast City and bring the project to life?
I've known Danny for the longest. I've known Danny for a long time, and my manager and co-creator, he's been friends with Danny and John for, years, right, Danny? Years and years and years.
Yeah, no, Casey and I have known each other for at least, I would say, about, 8, 10 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time, especially in LA.
And then who's the producer, Willie, who's the producer of the track, along with Casey. Willie has been, that's my brother. Like, we come actually from the same city in Puerto Rico called Fajardo, which is the east part of the island.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we hit it off right off the bat, and ever since, man, he's like he's like the ninja, that I go to. So, I'm telling you, it's like this whole entire song has brought a lot of great vibes, to all of us, and it was something that we were kind of like wanting for a long time. So
yeah, like Danny said, it was really like he was saying earlier, was such a perfect timing, because we've been wanting to work together for a really long time. And something about like this whole, I would say something about like this whole time and a lot of the emotions that were arising because of what's been going on, it just kind of really connected us back into the meaning of the song, and so it really worked out in that way.
But hey, by the way,
yes,
John is not here. We all know he's not here, but to replace him, I got this Optimus Prime because, in Transformers, Optimus Prime is like kind of like, like the dude, so like,
yeah,
Optimus Prime is stepping in for John today.
I like that, and maybe he'll transform during the video. John will appear. We'll see.
I'm trying to find a way like to put more lighting on you, Danny, because you look like covered in just like baby powder.
It's kind of nice. You look very angelic.
Yeah, he's like, you look like you're like in heaven or something.
You're like floating with the angels. It's beautiful.
This is actually the behind the scenes of the music video. This is where I showed of Best Shoes right here.
Yes, I recognize it.
This is actually the organ that I used for the song right here.
Yeah, this was our Best Shoes set too. Wow, we are so creative doing the live stream in our music video sets. Wow.
Yeah. It's all coming together. Well, without further ado, let's watch the video, and then maybe afterward I can ask you about some elements and little, behind the scenes kind of questionnaire. Cool. All right, I'm gonna move my little setup here.
Oh, this is so fun.
I know, this is our first premiere on LATV on Instagram Live, so it's cool. Okay, well, let's see. Let me try and figure this out. I've never used a tripod more in my life. Okay. Boom. Look at that.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that better, Casey?
Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. We're good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You see at least a little bit of them. Yeah.
My friends all think I'm crazy.
Woo! Yeah! Yo! That was so dope. It's like the fifth time I've seen it, and it's funny because
This is gonna be like, it's gonna be a long time so I can ever top a music video premiere. Like, this was pretty much the best one yet.
well, it was very exciting for
The
us.
first time you saw the video, like a little tear, like just like, oh, that touched me.
You know what? It's funny because just to bring back what I was saying before, even though you said it's like a sad song, and obviously the lyrics, you can tell it's based on some difficult things happening in your life and kind of like putting the best foot forward, as you said. I just was smiling the whole way through it because in a way, like, you're doing what you love and it's uplifting, and you can just sense that there's good vibes in it and there's good energy coming from it, even though you're talking about something maybe difficult and hard for you and for other people, obviously. So I think that's really hard to do in music, and so that was dope.
You.
So how did you, now that everyone's seen it, first of all, if anyone in the comments has any questions, please get on it. They're live and waiting for preguntas. But just to start it off, I mean, how did you come up with the thematics? Because a lot of it is obviously behind the scenes, and that there's those cool shots of you two facing each other. So it looks almost like you're in the same room.
Yeah.
How did that come together?
So actually, well, I'll say first, the idea that I was really important to me was, I definitely wanted a lot behind the scenes, but also I really wanted this idea of like, not just a music video at home, but what was it like really showing throughout the video, what was it like to have to create a video at the home. So really the music video is about creating a music video.
Right.
So, and that was really something I wanted to get across. And the looking at each other thing actually didn't even come about until the day we were shooting. It was my dad's idea, actually. He was like, well, why don't you just do one to the side and John can do one to the side? And we're like, yeah, whatever. We'll try it. And we did it, and it ended up being like, if my dad's watching this live right now,
big ups to Dad.
He tells me every time somebody says something about it, he's like, it was just genius. It was just genius. So he's feeling really good about himself about that one. So, and that really ended up being like this really cool way of showing that even though you can see and throughout the video that we're in separate areas, and totally different lifestyles, totally different processes, but in the end, it's just one thing, and it was cool to show it that way.
It was so cool. And I thought it was so beautiful how you created this kind of intimate space and made us almost feel like we're with you there. I feel like a lot of videos can be, the production value gets so intense that you feel so isolated, and like there's like laser shooting at you and you're like, what? And because of COVID now, people are having to get a lot more intimate and reveal more of themselves. And I think that's always been paramount to good music, but now to shoot videos like this, I think just gives you an entirely different view of the artist, because you're really going into their home and into their, whatever kind of makeshift studio or whatever they have at home, and you're seeing real shit Part of my
Yeah.
friend.
Well, that's cool. Like, thank you for saying that, because that was a big, a lot of the idea behind Best Shoes was, yes, it's about like going through this hard time, but the silver lining of it is like, it's something we all go through. So like we all go through the same things. We're in it together. And I loved that the video kind of took away and stripped away anything, all the glitz and glamour of like sometimes what people think it is to be an artist or whatever, and really show what that daily grind is in that life. And a lot of the feelings that inspired Best Shoes came from the daily grind of like trying to be an indie artist, or not trying, but being an indie artist and being an up and coming artist. And so the video was a really great way to kind of pull back the curtain and show what that process is really like. And I'm glad that you said that. So thank you.
Of course. Audience, any questions? Feel free to write them in the comments. I know it's probably too early to to really know, but are you guys planning anything else together? Are you thinking about working on anything new in the future, or is this just kind of like starting off point?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Willie and I was just talking about, actually, we're all gonna get together this weekend, and we're probably gonna end up working on music together. So definitely, this is like the starting of something really dope for the future. So either
Yeah.
I would love for Casey to write on one of our songs. I would love that, or vice versa, for us to be able to work and produce something for her too. So
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be one of many.
Yes. We don't know exactly what the next collaboration looks like, but we definitely know it's coming. So it will be here, but in what shape it will take, we are not sure yet.
And once all this eases up, we got to get you both, well, all three of you in LATV studio, and we'll do like something real cool.
Yes.
Whatever,
For sure.
we'll plan out something really, really dope. Oh yeah, Spicy Life asked, any live sessions coming up?
Well, what a perfect question. Yes. We have one on Friday. Well, Coast City is doing a set on the live stream for it's on their Instagram, right, Danny?
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a live this Friday. So check it out. If you go to our IGs at Coast City, you'll get more information on that. Or you can go to I Am Casey Conroy.
Yes, and we're going to be playing Best Shoes live, so that was a perfect timed question. Yes.
Yeah.
Super exciting. And then we got one from Bia. If there's one artist you could work with, anyone, who would it be? And that's a question for each of you separately.
Wow, how hard. I think
so hard.
I'm going to have to say either Chris Martin for Coldplay or Frank Ocean. I think those are my
Good choices. Good choices.
I'm gonna say this person only because he's a genius and it's his birthday today. Stevie Wonder.
Wow! Shout out Stevie Wonder.
I know it sounds a little bit cliche, because everybody who doesn't want to work with him, but he's a living legend, and a lot of our music, melodies, chord progressions, everything, a lot of it is inspired by the music that he's done in his lifetime. So, Steve.
Sweet. Man, I'm so excited to see what comes next for you guys. Your voices, they integrate so seamlessly. It's like listening to nature almost. It's just very beautiful, and it feels authentic and organic, and like no one's really like trying too hard. It's just very real. So I think that's where we're all headed, and we need to be heading to more authenticity and just good vibes all around.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
All right. Oh, and then last question. They want to know if you have TikToks.
I do have a TikTok. I am every day fighting the uphill battle that is TikTok.
Yeah.
But I do have a TikTok. It is this is my same as my Instagram handle. It's
Same as Instagram.
Yes.
Right, cool.
Do you guys have one? Danny, I know John has one.
At Coast City.
I love how you look at Danny on the laptop.
I just realized that I probably yeah. It's just more human, like, for me.
No, I get it. I get it. It's definitely more human. Oh man, what about you, Danny? You got one or?
Yeah. It's the same handle. Pro City.
Okay, Coast City. So you can find them on Instagram, TikTok,
There's some funny stuff in there.
all
I
your
didn't even
favorite
know I have to
networks.
follow you guys. I would think you'd be
And,
perfect.
and definitely, I have my personal one, Danny Coast Vibes,
Cool.
and there's some funny stuff there too.
Word. Yeah, TikTok's taking over. It's getting crazy, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's see. Oh, and the zoo says we need to have you guys on the zoo, which definitely we'll do once we get back in the studio. And yeah, I mean, we already went over just so they can find the music video on YouTube tomorrow, correct?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow on
Well,
YouTube.
the music video is coming out tomorrow. We're like super excited about it. Obviously, you know, there's this time, like when you release the song, right? You release the song and you hear it, but then you still have the music video and like, all right, I want to release the music video already, you know? So like,
Yeah.
I've been waiting this whole entire week, you know, anxiously, you know, to release it. And so we're so happy to be able to premiere it here and obviously for the world to continue to enjoy it, you know? So
Yeah.
so
Oh, Gabby wants to know what time it'll be out tomorrow.
I think it's at midnight. I think it'll come out at midnight. Yeah.
Okay, so
midnight tonight.
Literally.
midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight. Yeah, I really hope, like, I'm so glad you said the things you did, because I really hope when people see it, it elevates what they felt about the song and any emotions they felt for it. I hope that this video just kind of elevates that feeling. So I'm excited to see what people think.
It definitely will. It definitely will.
You know, and what's interesting about this music video too, you know, meaning just tagging on what you're saying, Casey, is that, you know, it's probably one of the few times that we're actually going to have our families in the camera,
exactly.
you know, like typically, you know, there's this whole entire, obviously we prepare for this music video, you know, but this was so off the cuff, like, you know, it was just kind of like Casey at her house, I was at my house, and John at his house, you know, and we just all just filming everything as it went, you know, and how we felt it. Actually, there's the day before we all started shooting the videos, just because we still had not figured it out exactly how it was going to be. I started like with my bike, I started riding all over Miami, just taking random pictures and video of Miami, just in case some B-roll, you know. We ended up not using it, but you know, it tells you how organic and how natural you know, everything really came together, you know. And so also I wanted to give a shout out to our boy Gus, who was the one who like edited,
dealt with us,
put everything, all the, you know, all the videos and all the content together. So you can imagine this guy is getting all these files from all of us, you know, and he's just like building this together, you know, little by little with us, and man, he really killed it. Did a great job.
Yeah, like, we are, none of us on our side are video people at all, and so we were just like, film everything, literally everything. Literally, there's a clip of me brushing my teeth in the morning. I'm like, whatever you do,
yeah, that's important. That's important.
And then the magic that is Gus will find bring out the good pieces and make it, like, it's, to me, it still impresses me that he was able to do it, because I mean, the hours and hours of footage we had was literally insane. So
and then John, he's mad picky. So and that's in a good way, you know, in a good way. He's always he's quality control, you know.
For sure.
So you know, we had a few versions of the video, you know, and we definitely were very happy with this final version, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a village, as you said. Like, being in production myself, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes to make something a reality. So definitely important to shout out the whole squad.
Oh, and also, before we go, all of it, which is probably obvious now that you see it, but it was all shot on our iPhone. So we did not have any resources, things like that. I mean, it It was Amazon black shutout curtain. So
That's epic. It's
Shout
epic.
out
Honestly,
to
you can't tell. It looks pro. It looks really good. It looks like DIY but pro. You know what I mean? It's done very
yeah,
well.
like we purposely made it look DIY.
Yeah. Well, I know that everyone's gonna enjoy the video. They can check it out at midnight.
Yes.
And Shoes. Thank you both so much for coming on and
No, thank
chatting
you
with
for
me.
having us. This means so much to us. Thank you for premiering it, and we were really excited to get to do it with you guys. So thank you.
Of course, and we'll have you in the studio as soon as possible once this is all over, and we'll get a live version going.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace.